What is up, everybody? It's your boy Eric, aka Wasted Beer Money, and today I am here with the traveling knife, the Elk Ridge Small Stockman. This is a knife picked out by Tom from Knife Delights. It was a great idea of his to start a traveling knife. He went to the store and picked out a knife that he doesn't see too much on YouTube or anywhere, Elk Ridge, and decided to open it up to the channels to see if anyone would be interested in reviewing it. Kind of a way for us to all bond and get to know each other better. So I took him up on it. One of the notes in his video mentioned if this isn't your usual kind of knife, he welcomed us to it. And this is definitely not my kind of knife. I'm more into modern knives, but I'm interested in traditionals. And a lot of the guys involved in this traveling knife so far, I'm big fans of. Tobias, Knife Chats with Tobias, J.O. Ventures, Knife Delights, like I mentioned, and RJ's Knives. After this review, it will be going to North Star Knife Review, another new friend. And I'm also going to be doing a collaboration with him, another idea from Tom, with Ham's Beer and a canoe pattern knife. North Star Review did the history of Ham's Beer, which is an awesome video. If you haven't seen it, go over to his channel and check it out. And I'll be doing the canoe pattern knife and trying Ham's Beer for the first time, kind of a pairing. To those new to the channel, that's sort of what I do here. Any knife or flashlight that I review, I try to pair it with a beer or alcohol beverage in some way. Some of them go deep, some don't. Could be color, it could be where they're made, the manufacturer, the person who designed it, or just some silly idea that I have in my head. For this knife, I'm going to be pairing it with a hard root beer. It was Tobias's idea. And Not Your Father's Root Beer, it's called. So that will be up after the review. And speaking of Tobias, that is who I am following up on this traveling knife. Tobias sent some really nice stuff over I'd like to share with you guys real quick. He sent this note. Hi Eric, figured you could waste some easy money on a beer. Have fun with the travel knife, Tobias. And it's pretty cool, it's got his channel on there. And I didn't know what that meant at first, but when I opened the other parts of the package, I found this awesome knife here. Thank you so much, Tobias, I love this. This is called the Easy Money from Rough Ryder. It's a canoe pattern. Very nice knife. This is one that I'm going to be carrying in the upcoming weeks. And I'll probably do a review on it. This is really cool. It's actually got real money in the handles here. It's so awesome. But thank you, Tobias. I love this. And he also included a sort of a keychain knife, which is really cool. Got a bottle opener there, which is always appreciated around here. He sent a bunch of swag. The traveling knife itself came with a bunch of stickers for Knife Delights, which I already have a few, so these will be passed along to the next guy. Tobias also included a bunch of swag. I'll go through here and take some out. I know one for sure will be this one. I love animals, and Tobias always includes the cat in his videos, so that's one I don't have yet. I have had previous contact with Tobias. We did a sticker swap. Here's his usual sticker. And he also sent me a coaster from Skip the Show's Volcano Club, which, if you don't know what that is, on Fun Knife Friday, check out Tobias's channel. I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite Fun Knife Friday videos that come out every week. One of his past ones was about pocket dumps and how silly they are, and I honestly watched it twice and was cracking up. It was really good. He's got a great sense of humor over there. All right, not going to get too much further into this. I'll probably add a little bit of a couple stickers to the swag pack and send some little presents over to North Star Knife Review. One of the guys, I have two of these stickers, so I'm going to put one in the pack because there is none. For J.O. Ventures, he did a great look at the Elk Ridge knife. I don't have any stickers for RJ, so if you happen to watch this, RJ, if you have stickers and you want to do a swap, send me an email, wastedbeermoney@gmail.com, And that goes for any other channel out there that's interested in doing a swap, or if you're a friend or a fan, just let me know. Send me an email and I'll get some stickers out to you. I'm going to have some made in the next week. I gave most of mine out. So, yeah. But let's get into the star of the show, the Elk Ridge Small Stockman. The Elk Ridge Small Stockman. I've spent about a week with this now. It was on my doorstep when I got back from vacation. As I mentioned earlier, I am new to these kind of knives, traditional knives, especially the Stockman. So it was definitely interesting reading up on the history of it. Before I get into that, I'd just like to mention I love this slip. This was made by J.O. Ventures, who he included it in the pack to go along with the traveling knife. My favorite part is this lanyard with the bead. It fits this knife perfectly. It's got some cool stamping on here, a bear, which someone mentioned probably eats the elk. Some nice little patterns. But what I found myself doing, I usually just, in my jeans, I put it in this little pocket and just kind of hang that out. Perfect. This pocket kind of gets lost, but I love that little pocket for knives. And that's definitely what I did with this one. This definitely would make a good secondary knife. But yeah, this is the Stockman from Elk Ridge, the small Stockman. It's got 3 blades. You have your main blade, which is a Turkish clip point. Let's take a measurement on this one. These each represent an inch. So full length, you're looking at about 2.5 inches. Cutting length is about 2 1/4. I was not a fan of this blade. I'm not a big fan of clip point blades. This is definitely a little different being the Turkish style. I do love the etching on the blade where it says Elk Ridge. And on the other side, it says stainless. It has the model number and it says custom designs. I didn't do much cutting with this. I found myself having to think about opening this and using it. I cut an apple and some packages open with it, nothing crazy. The blade that I used most on this is the sheep's foot. You see that blade there. Now this one overall is about 2 inches. Cutting length, it is about 2 3/4, maybe a little short of that. This is the blade that I found myself using the most. Now for a 3-blade knife like this, for me not to use the main blade is kind of silly, but this is what I like. I like sheep's foot blades. This is perfect for opening packages or anything on a flat surface. Good for push cuts. But that's the blade on this knife that I enjoyed the most. Also has a spay blade here, which some of the guys have mentioned is a little bit different than your standard spay blade. As far as the history of the knife goes, they used this on ranches back in the day. I think this particular kind of knife was invented before 1900. They would use it to spay livestock or whatnot, and I don't know if they still do that today, but that's the original use for it. I'm kind of curious, anyone watching, if you are into the Stockman knife, what do you use this blade for? I think I read online that there's a brand or two that'll put like for flesh only on here or something. Its original purpose was what I just mentioned, the spaying. I don't know if they did neutering, but I guess it's a little more rounded at the tip, so when you're doing your cutting, you won't puncture any vital organs. But I barely use this at all. As far as feel goes, this feels great in the hand. Let me get a little weight on this. I never weighed this thing. Let's push this out of the way. Let's get a weight on here. 1.87 ounces. So very light. You barely notice this in the pocket, especially with the slip. That doesn't hardly add anything to it. The star of the show here is definitely the handles. Everyone's been saying that. I don't know if this is going to do it any justice. I might do an over video just to show you in the light how beautiful these are. They just call it brown, but they're gorgeous. It just Tobias said it looked like root beer, which is why he recommended me doing a hard root beer as a pairing, which I thought was a great idea. But yeah, that's definitely the nicest part. I also like this inset elk, the logo here. I don't know if you'll be able to catch that. I'll probably do another overview for that. It's got nice pulls on it. It's got the match strike pulls. Nickel silver bolsters, brass pins and liners. It's a really well put together knife. I'm appreciative that the guys let me join in on this. I think I learned that I'm not a particular fan of Stockmans. I'm open to trying another one if anyone has any recommendations. I know this is a little bit different. If you guys check out some of the other reviews, RJ's Knives did a great comparison with a bunch of different Stockman knives, Case, Old Timer, and some other popular brands. J.O. Ventures compared to a Buck, and Tobias did a Case, I believe, where it had the one blade that was raised up, which I actually thought was cool, but he was saying people complained about it, but I thought that was really neat to see. And I don't have any other Stockmans. Like I said, this isn't my normal kind of knife. What I did enjoy with the knife that Tobias gave me, now I don't know, someone out there will have to tell me, but what I like most about this is how snappy it is. Each position, I don't know if you can hear that. It kind of clicks with authority, and this is probably pretty brand new or not used much. So I'm not going to knock this knife too much. It's been traveling around and put to the test from some of these guys. And what I mean by that is, like, when you open the spay blade, it kind of opens a little bit there, but this one here, the main blade, doesn't really snap into place that well. Tobias had mentioned it has a little bit of blade play, which I can definitely feel wiggling it. In use, I didn't notice it at all, so I'm sure it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I mean, you really can't knock this knife. I'm not quite remembering what Tom at Knife Delights paid for it, but I'm sure it was, at the most $20. I think RJ put up a link for $13 on sale. I think Tobias had mentioned that this company might not even be around anymore. So if that's the case, it makes this even more special that a bunch of us are getting to look at it and kind of immortalize it on YouTube. But yeah, I'm grateful you guys included me in this. I'm really looking forward to carrying the canoe pattern that Tobias gave me. And actually, Tom at Knife Delights has one on the way, so I can do the collaboration with North Star Knife Review, which is where this is going next. So make sure you check him out in the coming weeks. Tobias has a playlist for all the videos going. I might try to put one together myself. I've never done it, but Tobias has all the videos so far from everybody. I highly recommend checking all them guys out, subscribing, giving a comment. They're all great people. For me, I'm pretty new at this. I'm very lucky. Tom at Knife Delights found me early on and sent me a handwritten letter and with words of encouragement, which to this day it means a lot to me. He's a great friend. He's got a great channel over there at Knife Delights and History Delights. I highly recommend you check him out. Best of both worlds, knives and history. And what I love most about Tom, he's very supportive, and he's got a sneaky sense of humor. So watch his videos and you'll see his sense of humor come out. And those are my favorite moments with him. And I hope he continues to do that. He's got a little sneaky sense of humor over there. But all right, that's it for the traveling knife. Stay tuned. Coming up, I'm going to do the pairing, which is going to be Not Your Father's Root Beer, hard root beer that I'm excited to try out, and hopefully it does justice to how beautiful these covers are here on this knife. Thank you guys. I hope everyone is well. And remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy beer and knives, and that's pretty darn close, right? Beer money, out. All right, today we're going to start out with the pour. We got your Not Your Father's Root Beer here. Let's see if I can capture this with the knife here. Yeah. Not Your Father's Root Beer. All right, let's go to the overhead camera and I'll give a brief little history on this company and give it a score. All right, here we go. Not Your Father's Root Beer. Now, I don't know if you guys remember back in 2015, that's when this became kind of a popular thing. This was originally created in 2012 by a company called Small Town Brewery in Illinois. And then after a couple of years there, they partnered up with Pabst and went national with it. And in 2015, it was the best-selling craft beer. Now, since then, it's kind of tanked, mainly due in part to the rise in seltzers. I mean, there's, you guys go to the store now, there's just a huge section of seltzers. Every company's doing them. This has since been kind of labeled as a hard soda, and kind of people look at it as something that started that craze before the seltzers kicked in. Now, it seems like they're trying to make a comeback in that sector. I think I saw Mountain Dew is going to be doing one soon. So it's definitely an untouched part of the market right now. This is still available. They used to have all different ones, but it's basically just this one and a lemonade, I believe. A lot of controversy surrounds this, basically down to the added sweetness. The creator, Tim Kovac, says that there's no added sweetness. It was, brewed traditionally with botanicals, spices, sarsaparilla, vanilla, honey, basically everything that makes a root beer. Today, I'm not sure. I don't know if Pabst has full control now on the bottle now. They've done a rebranding, but it says malt beverage, which I'm not sure if the original one did or not. So who knows? I'm not sure if I ever actually had this. I know my mother-in-law likes it. I might have had a sip years ago, but let's give it a shot. Not Your Father's Root Beer, 5.9% alcohol. Let's check it out. Perfect pairing for the Elk Ridge traveling knife. Cheers, everybody. Not bad. I mean, you definitely get the alcohol in the end, but it's very sweet. Would I call it a good root beer in itself? Not really. On the nose, it definitely smells like root beer, but taste, it's got a chemical-ness to it. Kind of hard to describe. It's pretty strong. You can, like I said, you can definitely get the alcohol on the end. For a score, now I do my own scoring. I do it for fun. I'm not an expert on any of this. The way I kind of do it, basically anything in the 8s is a great beer. You should definitely go out and pick it up and try it. Nothing has scored in the 9s yet. Those are going to be definitely worth any kind of travel you got to do to get to it kind of beer. 7s are good. 6s, not bad. And anything from there below, 5s, 4s, Unfortunately, I think I'm going to give this one, I wouldn't even say it's worth trying, to be honest with you. I'd rather have regular root beer. I'm going to give this one a 4.8. 4.8 for Not Your Father's Root Beer. All right, everybody, thank you for staying to the end of the video. I appreciate it. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. Let me know down in the comments, have you ever tried Not Your Father's Root Beer? What are your thoughts on it? If not, are you into any of the hard sodas out there, or you like seltzers? I have a few coming up in the coming weeks. Gonna mix it up a little bit. I mainly do beer, but I will mix in a whiskey or, a seltzer or a root beer once in a while if it pairs with the knife. This was an idea from Tobias. Thank you, Tobias, for everything. And that's basically it. Gonna pack everything up, send a couple trinkets over to North Star Knife Review. He will be next with the traveling knife. good luck, and stay safe out there, everybody.
Who you talking to? Who you talking to? You want to go out back? Bless you. Bless you. You're crazy.